Hello and welcome to Moments with God, your one-stop station for your daily inspirational reflection with God. A subsidy of the Rich Samaritan Organization, the nonprofit companion enriching the lives of those in need, and the branch of God's Son's Outreach Ministry. Paying homage or giving tribute becomes increasingly difficult when it's due to outgroups versus those of our in-groups, the individuals with whom we share greater commonality and self-interest, and with whom we gain much traction to our own benefits. As our self-confidence grows, more deeply rooted by our material gains and peer assurance, a greater effort is required to recall our commitment to others and step outside of our comfort zones, especially to those whom we may perceive as outsiders. This common human oversight we readily use with God also. More often than not, our blinders passively keep him out of the invite lists of our lives and regrettably stick with the familiar guests of whom we exercise our most cherished vices. In Matthew 22, in the parable of the wedding, this concept is clearly depicted. Starting at verse 2, the kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who arranged a marriage for his son, and sent out his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding, and they were not willing to come. Again, he sent out other servants, saying, Tell those who are invited, See, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen, my fatted cattle are killed, and all things are ready. Come to the wedding. But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his own farm, another to his business. And the rest seized his servants, treated them spitefully, and killed them. But when the king heard about it, he was furious, and he sent out his armies, destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then he said to his servants, The wedding's ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore, go into the highways, and as many as you find, invite to the wedding. So those servants went out into the highways, and gathered together all whom they found, both bad and good, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. A similar exclusion of God was expressed by the prophet Jeremiah before Israel is held captive by the Babylonians as a direct result of their exclusion of the worship of God, which in turn resulted in God giving them to their own ideologies and desires. In Jeremiah 34, starting at verse 17, Therefore, thus says the Lord, You have not obeyed me in proclaiming liberty, every one to his brother, and every one to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim liberty to you, says the Lord, to the sword, to the pestilence, to the famine. And I will deliver you to trouble among all the kingdoms of the earth. And I will give the men who have transgressed my covenant, who have not performed the words of the covenant which they made before me, when they cut the calf in two and passed between the parts of it, the princess of Judah, the princess of Jerusalem, the eunuchs, the priests, and all the people of the land who pass between the parts of the calf. I will give them into the hand of their enemies and into the hand of those who seek their life. Their dead bodies shall be for meat for the birds of the heaven and the beasts of the earth. So let me leave you with this final thought. Apparently, paying tribute proves difficult outside the self, even when its precepts are to God. This concludes today's episode of Moments with God. We'd like to thank you for tuning into our station and pray the words of Christ have nourished your souls. Don't forget to show us your support by sending us your requests, prayers, and donations. We may be reached at www.richsamaritan.org or by calling 877 for God's Son. That's 877-446-3776. We'll leave you in God's love and care until we meet again in another series of Moments with God.